Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Rashai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Rashai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Chakwadash, the blondes to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. I'm going to be responding to the Osama bin Laden's letter to America. Now, this letter has gone viral on TikTok, which it wasn't truly written by bin Laden. I mean, you got Obama mentioned in there, what have you. But we're gonna read a bit on it. It's been banned everywhere. You could find the letter yourself and read it. But pretty much, it's really much exposing, the small hats and the ill shit that America has done to those people in the Middle East. And with the advent of TikTok, like I've been saying in these previous lessons, is the American people aren't so easily fooled anymore because anybody could get a picture or take a video, upload it on TikTok, and people can really see what's going on the ground. So normally in the past, people would just side, with the small hats, but because they lobby and control everything. But now people again are waking up, man. It's crazy. All right, now this is the Bin Laden letter. This is from Wired. It says, now this is my first time reading this, but for the sake of time, I just had to snag something real quick, and then I'll elaborate on what I've read because I've actually read the letter. It says the so-called letter, the Bin Laden letter, is being weaponized by the far right. Far right influences and right-wing lawmakers are using the spread of Osama bin Laden's letter to America to call for a TikTok ban and boost decades-old conspiracies. When you read the letter, it ain't conspiracies, man. They pretty much tell you, and what everybody's saying is like, look, everybody in the White House is pretty much controlled by the small hats. You know what I mean? And they do everything at the behest of them, including staging wars at the expense of the American people. They don't care if they go to war and they lose a shit ton of money or what have you. But let's read it. It says a number of users have posted TikToks in recent days that share parts of Osama bin Laden's 2002 letter to America, where the deceased Al-Qaeda leader said the attacks on September 11, 2001 were justified. Posters used it to critique U.S. foreign policy and have claimed that the letter changed their perspective. And that's true. You can see like people, they deleted all the people that was talking about it on TikTok, but if you go to Rumble, you can see a lot of it was talking. A lot of it too are women. Women are very emotional, and their emotions were swayed to say, wait a minute, this isn't right, and they love to go on TikTok and share shit, so it's gone viral. It says, but while some have questioned the actual virality of these posts as conversations about these TikToks explode on Thursday evening, far-right lawmakers and influencers has used the renewed interest in bin Laden to spread conspiracy theories about 9/11 and push their own anti-China agenda. On his Thursday podcast, right-wing commentator and conspiracist Glenn Beck compared TikTok posts to the Antichrist forming. And you got to really see who's backing where you're reading your information from, right? Because this is why we don't know if this is a left-leaning thing or a right-leaning thing, but more than likely it probably leans left. But nobody's really neutral. Everybody's being paid and bought for and picking sides and shit. So, we take everything with a grain of salt. It says the terrifying threat America continues to face from global powers. He then compared bin Laden's worldview to modern leftist talking points. Charlie Kirk, president of Turning Point USA, boosted conspiracies about public education. Why is everyone shocked that a generation taught to hate America would embrace Osama bin Laden? Kirk wrote on Telegram. Well, when you read the letter, the dude ain't lying. America, is known for doing a whole bunch of treachery, man. And with that said, I'm going to read this in the book of Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit and the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Now that dust represents confusion. Who is the virgin daughter of Babylon? Virgin is a woman has not been touched, right? Of Babylon. Babylon means the land of confusion. So the land of confusion that has not been touched is America. Touched by what? By missiles, by war. No one's came and invaded America, right? It says, sit on the ground, there is no throne. So you seeing a woman, a virgin daughter, being taken off a throne and put on a ground. O daughter of the Chaldeans. Right. Daughter of the Chaldeans, daughter of the elites. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And America is not being called tender and delicate in this upright land anymore, as we're reading. Take the millstone and grind meal. Take the millstone and grind mill. So right now we seeing a virgin on a throne being in the most highest position to somebody grinding mill, which is the most lowest position in society, right? At that time. Let's get it. Let's get the precept. This is Exodus 11 and 5. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die from the firstborn of Pharaoh. So the firstborn of Pharaoh is somebody very high that sitteth upon the throne. We just read about a virgin sitting upon the throne. Even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of the beast. So we see in the highest is sitting on the throne of Pharaoh, and the lowest is grinding mill, is the daughter of a maidservant. So we see in that right here, that's what it's talking about, right? It says take the millstone and grind mill. So go from the highest to the lowest. And that's what we see in with America morally, man. All right. It was once seen as this golden city. Now it's seen as a place that rape, robs, and murder and works at the behest of them small hats. It says, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thighs. So, uncover the locks, meaning take off your head covering, and bare the leg. So, we see in parts of the body now of this woman, because in the ancient world, women were covered, right? But it's being uncovered, meaning becoming more and more naked, which naked is representative of sin, right? Remember, Yahweh Shai said they shall have no more cloak for their sin, because the covering, that's how you cover your sin in parabolic talk. All right, it says, uncover the thigh and pass over the rivers. Now, when a woman lifts up her skirt to pass over waters, that means the waters can see up her skirt, right? But what does the waters represent? Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and 15. It reads, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, that whore being America, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So when the whore passed over the river and the water see up her privates, that's these other nations seeing and exposing all the wicked sins that America has hid. All right, it says, that's why it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Exactly. So the shame is being brought out on America. It says, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he shall take vengeance. This is why we don't advocate, going out and getting guns and doing all this type of shit to try to take down this man yourself. No. Yahweh Shai is going to have the vengeance. That's why it says in Zephaniah 3 and 8, wait ye upon me. So we're spiritual men. We're not carnal men. All right. We don't go to gun ranges and do none of that shit. Okay. We know that the Lord is going to get his vengeance. And he says, I will not meet thee as a man, because he's not coming back, all right, on a donkey, okay? He's coming back on a chariot, all right? That's why it's written, let me get it real quick, in the book of Acts, the 2nd chapter. So like Acts, the 1st chapter, pardon me, Acts 1 and 7. He said, Acts 1 and 7, and he said unto them, it is not, so like Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received them out of their sight. All right, so that's Yahweh Shai being taken up, all right, by a chariot. Okay, because in the ancient world there was nothing that was able to fly. They didn't have aviation in the ancient world. Okay, nothing was flying back then in the air like we have airplanes today. So they was talking about the chariots that took them up, but they called them clouds, they called them pillars of fire, they called them whatever they could, they called them horses, chariots of Israel. But there was nothing flying in the ancient world, so those were the chariots, what they call today UFOs, so-called UFOs. It says he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven, all right, so they were looking up as the Lord was getting beamed up, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. So those are the angels, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into the heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So the same way he went up with the chariots, that's the same way he's going to come back with the chariots, all right? And that's how come they put all those movies together that shows, the world fighting so-called aliens or what have you, so these people are going to know how to react when the Lord comes back, because they've been programmed to think these are aliens coming and little green men. That's bullshit, man. That's Yahweh Shai coming back with the angels, all right, to deliver our people, because that's how we're going to be delivered out of here in this coming destruction in America, all right? When World War III take place and Russia shoots missiles over here in America, the only way you're going to be delivered is if you are on them chariots, man. There's no other way, because those missiles are going to completely wipe everything out of here, man. All right, now let's jump back. We read Isaiah. Let's jump back to the article, right? It says, one of his followers replied, not shocked. We as a whole let this crap happen in our higher education. We did not pay attention to the way the Marxists infiltrated and thought it was just going to go away. Not anymore. The issue has also led to renewed calls for TikTok to be banned by right-wing lawmakers who have repeatedly claimed without evidence that TikTok is used by Chinese government to spy on U.S. citizens. Now, I'll say this much, right? Either side could be true, right? TikTok could be being used by the so-called Chinese, all right, to spy, which that's definitely possible, right? The United States also spy on its own people, though, all right? And secondly, that letter, if you so-called true American, whatever, then you'd have been like, yo, shit, that's right, man. That's not, we're not supposed to be taking advantage of our own people and such and that. They would have really like read the letter from a neutral standpoint. All right. It says TikTok is an espionage tool and a propaganda machine for the communist first pro-Hamas propaganda, now Bin Laden. So there's a, again, this is causing a big rift because the majority of people right now are on the side of Palestine, so-called Palestinians. All right. I was watching Fresh and Fit. They was talking about free Palestine. Everybody in the chat was putting free Palestine. Everybody's like free Palestine. So why is that? Because people aren't going to mainstream news for their side of the story. People are going to different sources, primarily whatever they say on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and what have you. So people have become their own journalists and listening to their own information, you see? Namely like the younger generation. It says that's how come you see college students and all that protesting, because they're younger, all right? They're not going to CNN and shit like that and Fox. They're on social media and Twitter and all that. Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri wrote on X, the website formerly known as Twitter, on Thursday night, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, I believe, probably can't believe we're letting them get away with it. Ban TikTok. Similar calls were repeated elsewhere on X and on platforms home to. But wait a minute, if it's supposed to be the land of the free and America is free, then why people got to be banned to speak certain things? So that's not true freedom. All right, if you're banned and limited in your speech, I thought it was supposed to be free speech to everybody. But when you ban shit, the question is this: who determines what can be banned? And if you leave it up to the government, then this is truly not the land of the free, as they say. So that's the catch-22, all right? That's why people, again, let me jump to this real quick. Habakkuk. People are fed up with this so-called democracy and the hypocrisy of it, man. All right? Because right now they're going over there bombing all these different nations, killing all these different people, but they supposed to be the land of the free and all this type of shit, and that shit ain't adding up. Habakkuk 2:5 says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. Now who's that he? That's talking about the so-called white man, his philosophies like democracy and his hypocrisy. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Exactly. So since America has been established, there's only been 12 years of peace. Every other year has been wars, nothing but constant wars. Why? Because the so-called white man has over 1,000. The United States has over 1,000 military bases in all these different countries, police in the world. You think people are going to like you or hate you after that? If you're coming into different countries, they're going into Africa and all that stuff and telling these people how to live, you think they're going to like you or hate you? They're going to hate you. You see, you shouldn't be going around policing the world and telling people what to think. But guess what? That's always been the nature of the so-called white man. Even when he was the Greeks. When they would call themselves Greeks. It says he is proud. Yeah, proud. They don't think nobody could take them out. They're so proud that they're going to be the first nation to fight against the Most High and his son themselves. He's a proud man. All right. That's how come the so-called white man, he don't believe in the Most High. He believes in himself. All right. He thinks that he is God. That's hypocrisy right there. Because how you going to be atheist? You don't believe in God. But guess what? If there's a God, he looks like me. It's bullshit. It says he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. who enlarges his desire as hell. Yeah, they keep expanding. They can never be satisfied. They always want to conquer, rape, rob, and murder. All right? Look what they're doing in Haiti. See? People thought they was going down there to help Haiti, the Haitians, the so-called Haitians, which are the tribe of Levi, Israelites. But guess what they were doing? They was kidnapping and harvesting organs, man. It says, and is as death and cannot be satisfied. That's all he deals with is death. But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. See that? So, again, people are waking up. We're in these end times now, man. All right, the prophets are on the scene. Scriptures tell you that your sons and daughters shall prophesy. So people are just, the spirit of just getting on them to say, no, hell no, this is not the case. This is some bullshit. You know, it's on a lot of people. The Lord is having an awakening going on. Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him? All these nations, man. All right, that's why he's called Ban Shaitan, the great Satan, son of Satan. And a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. And that's what that dude, Osama bin Laden was getting into, man. All right, talking about you coming over here and occupying all these different lands and settlements and shit like that, man. Where people should be free, but you're supposed to be the land of the free. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increased that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that's that heavy debt, man. It says, because the United States is just insanely, it's just a debt-based society we live in. Shall they not rise up suddenly, and shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? So these nations are pissed off. They're gonna assemble themselves together, all right, and turn their back on America. That's why it says in the book of Obadiah, them that was once confederate with thee shall be against thee. They're gonna break their agreements, even Britain, all right, and shoot missiles on this bitch. That's the road. That's the path. That's where all this shit leads to. Okay, all this controversies and wars and skirmishes, and it's gonna lead to World War III. Okay. It says either get rid of TikTok or surrender to China, and link to an article that claimed the Bin Laden trend was a Chinese government plot to undermine U.S. democracy. On Telegram, a number of QAnon influence and far-right figures used the renewed interest in the Al-Qaeda leader to boost conspiracy theories around the 9/11 terrorist attacks, which, look up Ryan Dawson on 9/11. He goes, he exposes it, man. All right? He shows it goes heavy on it, man. And we speak on it too. All right? Look up Ryan Dawson on 9/11. Look up PNAC, Project for a New American Century. All right? You see that. I can't speak too much on it because I don't want this lesson to get banned, but it's not what they presented on face value. Okay? There was a reason that was done. Okay? And guess what? It all goes back to them small hats. It says, a lot of grown-ass adults still don't question 9/11 being an inside job, QAnon influencer Jordan Sather wrote on Telegram. The CIA and the Mossad perpetrated 9/11. A follower of right-wing commenter Jack Posobiec wrote in response to a link Posobiec shared about the TikTok trend, adding Bin Laden was their MK Ultra puppet and was protected in hiding. Still, it is unclear what sparked the sharing of Bin Laden's letter. Based on a review of TikTok conducted by Wired before the platform began removing videos, the first video directing viewers to read Bin Laden's letter was posted on Friday, November 10th by an account with just 3,800 followers. The video has only been viewed 1,133 times as of the morning of Friday, November 17th, with just 12 comments. The account is, however, quite prolific and posts up to a dozen videos each day, most of which are reposted from other accounts. The account holder appears to be an avid Trump supporter, and they share questionable content, including conspiracy theories, mostly linked to President Joe Biden. One video shared this week suggests that Biden was in fact a body double. So this is also disinformation. Like sometimes, that's the thing you have to be wary of, because some of these channels will post truth mixed with a bunch of, far-fetched lies and shit like that, over the top shit, so you can't really filter what's what. Unlike some of the later videos, which garnered many more views, this account holder didn't read any of the content of the letter, simply telling the followers, "It's too much to say, but I need you guys to go and Google Osama bin Laden's letter to America and read it. It will explain a lot." The video was posted 24 hours after searches for the bin Laden letter spiked, according to data from Google Trend. The account holder did not respond to Wired requests for comments on how they learned about the letter. A TikTok spokesman told Wired that the company was removing the November 10th video after Wired and flagged it, and Wired can confirm the video has now been removed. So, you know, this is a lengthy article. You brothers can read it on your own, right? I gotta shoot out, but yeah, man. As we've been saying, man, the skirts are being lifted. And with that, let me read Luke 12 and 2, because I've been bringing out the scripture a lot. Spirit wanted out a lot because the Lord is just revealing things, man. So Barakatha Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, there's a lot going on, man, and it just, it makes us happy because we just know that our salvation is right around the corner, pursuant to the book of Romans 13 and 11. All right. Luke 12 and 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So that's within Israel, all right? I'm talking about within the truth and the outside world, man. The Lord is just making everything clear and open, man. So Barakatha Yahweh Bashim Yahshai for shining the light. All right, so I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which you well. Salutations to the whole for the elect out there. You Akim to Zadakim. That do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.